Hi, I'm Larry. I used to be a TV newscaster. Now I help executives look better on Zoom and in all kinds of presentations. When I was a newscaster, I used to do presentations with box graphics like this over my shoulder all the time. Well, now there's a new app that allows you to do the same thing on Zoom and videos and many other ways, and it's called Mmhmm. That's what it's called, just Mmhmm. And is it cool? Mmhmm. So when it first came out, I was really excited that it was going into private beta, and I was thinking that I would be one of the first people to get one of the private beta invitations. And I have to admit that when I didn't get my invitation right away, I was a little bit blue. And I was green with envy that other people were actually getting an invitation before I was. After all, I am pretty well read on this type of stuff. But I wasn't getting that invitation, and I was feeling smaller and smaller and smaller and more insignificant. And the more I thought about it, the more I thought I could actually maybe even get violet if this invitation didn't come. But luckily, the invitation did arrive, and I'm able to show you now all the cool stuff of Mmhmm. But to do that, I'm going to have to actually get out of Mmhmm for a second to show you the interface, because if I try to do a demo of the Mmhmm interface within the Mmhmm application, I get something like this, which is going to be Mmhmm Inception. Let me show you what I mean. So if I go over here and I go to my screen share, it is a barbershop effect. Make myself a little smaller here. It's a barbershop effect that's not going to work very well for this demo. So let's go to a different way to record Mmhmm to show you what it's all about. So here we are in the interface of Mmhmm. And a few notes before we get started. In our experience, Mmhmm works best if you have a physical green screen. You right now have to have a Mac. It's Mac only. A Windows version is in development. And of course, to use Zoom, you have to have Zoom. And that's one of the top questions I think people will have is, well, how does this work in Zoom exactly? So I actually have a different Zoom meeting running over here, and I'll just bring this up side by side and show you that here's a live Zoom meeting. And you're probably familiar with this, the video control, especially if you have more than one camera. And the Mmhmm camera just appears right here. So you just select this, and to do this, you must have the latest version of Zoom. It has to be Zoom version 5.2.0. And when we get here, you see we have this animation from Mmhmm that says that we're off air. So how do you get on air? Well, it's this button right up here in the upper left-hand corner. Go from off air to on air. And now whatever I do as basically a visual control panel over here in Mmhmm is going out on Zoom. So if I change slides, do all the things that we were talking about before, that is all happening now on Zoom. And my video of myself and the content are all together in one window. So people on Zoom don't have to choose between the content window and the video window anymore. It can all work together. So that's how you get connected to Zoom. It's really easy. Remember, you have to have that latest version. So I'll just end the meeting right now for Zoom, and let's go back over here and take a look at the interface real quick. I want to walk through the interface and then show you how to load some slides. So the first thing that you want to do is you can definitely use the interface just as it is, but sometimes it's very helpful to take some of these different controls and click and hold and drag them off to the side so you've got them always available. So there's camera, there is presenter, and finally we'll do rooms. And so you have all of these things all together, and we can just go through these one by one right now. So starting with camera, it allows you to select the camera if you have more than one. I'm using the Logitech Brio, and this slider control is actually a camera zoom control, which is very convenient. And this allows you, say if I was going to turn the slide off, I can actually position myself in the shot just by dragging myself around, which is really great. And so if I'm positioned a little bit differently in the actual physical camera, this is probably a better illustration, I can actually move myself to wherever I want to be on the screen. So if you've got a logo backdrop or something like that, that can be very, very helpful. A physical screen definitely works better than a virtual screen. And so a virtual screen will do this, where you'll get a little bit of the halo effect around yourself. And it also depends on how your background is uniform and that type of thing. And then threshold allows you to dial in the green screen key. And so this is a pretty good key right there. And so that's how that works. And then here are the controls where you can make yourself go lighter or darker, be transparent. You can hide yourself here. You can go in and select from all these different ways to show yourself, including silhouette, which works really, really great. You can also be round in a circle, or you can be square in a rectangle. So I like silhouette a lot. And what really works cool with silhouette and with the position is down here with the anchor position. It basically anchors you to the lower left corner in this case. And so when you make yourself smaller or bigger, it's going to go to that corner. So same thing over here. It's now going to go to the right corner. And as you're moving yourself around, you can actually snap to one of these corners as well. And so right there, as the arrow became blue, that means I'm now snapped to the lower right corner. Over here, the arrow became blue. I'm snapped now to the left corner, and I can make myself bigger or smaller. And so you can do this with keyboard commands. You can do this with the mouse. And you can also do this, we're going to make another video about this, you can do this with a Sony PlayStation controller, which is absolutely amazing. You can really tool around by keeping your eyes locked completely on the camera, which is what I was doing in the beginning of this video, using the PlayStation controller. So we'll definitely do another video on that. And then you've got all of your room controls down here. I'm actually going to cheat and use the controller here. There we go. It's paired, and so now I'm using the controller and basically just clicking the trigger button to change all of the backgrounds, which is really awesome. You can add your own backgrounds as well, and that's the room effect. And then slides are up here. You can turn them off. You can go to the default version there and proportionally make yourself where you want. You can put them in the background, and of course you can hide yourself when you do that, or bring yourself back with a fade up like this, and really have a lot of fun with it. And finally, I want to show you how to add your own slides, because this hasn't really been explained anywhere other than images can be used. And the application Mmhmm doesn't yet support Keynote and PowerPoint directly yet, although you can use them in a separate window. So to add your own slides, you need to export those slides to graphics like I've done here with Keynote. And I've found that 1080 by 1080 is a good square size to use. And so that's what I made in Keynote. And this is what I used at the beginning of this video. And so if I'm going to create my own file, I'll go up here to do File, New, and I'll get a new version, a new file for Mmhmm. And then I've got all of these graphics ready to go. I'm just going to Command A, select all of them, and then drag them in. And since they're right out of Keynote, they're in the right order. And I'm able to cycle through them using the arrow keys like I did at the beginning. Actually, I was using the controller in the beginning, but that's how you do slides. 1920 by 1080 size works great. I've also experimented with standard PowerPoint size, which is 960 by 540 in pixels, and that works as well. Mmhmm just extends it to fill up the screen. So definitely want to make some more videos. This is a lot of fun. I want to keep playing around in this, but hopefully that gets you started with the interface of Mmhmm.